I just started reassembling this mower deck, and I was going to paint the yellow, so I took some of the paint and just sprayed it in there, and I'll let some of the solvents evaporate out, and then I'll just take my little touch-up brush and paint all these things that are supposed to be yellow on here. And I did put the little bars back in there, and I'm going to put that back on too. I'm just going to maybe put the wheels on, just put the deck together just so it's less stuff kicking around to get lost or damaged. I'm going to start painting this. Hopefully we don't end up with some paint reaction from the yellow to the red. I'm not going to video doing all this. It's going to be time consuming. It would be a lot of memory card and time uploading. So that's why I'm just going to kind of show you how I'm doing it. I'll show you when I get to the lettering too. There we go, all trimmed out. I'm ready to put the wheels and the front, this piece on, and get the engine done up and the handles. I bead blasted these. These are the handle brackets. They've been repaired over the years, and I'm going to leave them alone because, you know, that's what people did back in that era. They repaired stuff like this and kept using it. So that's, and this is original. These are original parts of the mower, everything on it. And I bead blasted the blade. I'll paint that too, gloss black with acrylic enamel. Sharpen it up first like a razor. Got a lot of it together. Little fork things are in, the wheels are on, front rake is on. I put that exactly where it was. You could see where the bolts were on it. So there we go, we're getting there. I think I'll just set the engine on there just till I get working on it. There it is with the engine just sitting on it. I'm going to completely repaint, clean up and repaint the engine, fix the oil leak. Engine runs, it runs good. Well, it's got gummed up gas in it. I'll have to drain that out, and obviously the oil out of the crankcase because I'm going to fix an oil leak. But there we go. It's starting to get back together finally. Yeah, I primed up the handlebar pieces and the blade. I sharpened the blade and primed it. I took the handles apart too so I could got the bolt that shows up in the little, all the brackets top and bottom for the handlebars, so I can paint the handlebars next. I got bits and pieces hanging all over, as you can see. So they're primed. We'll give them paint as soon as we get some nice weather. It's raining out today and it's supposed to tomorrow too. Definitely got to clean the carb. That was stuck. I couldn't even move it, and I wiggled a little bit and got it moving, but it's really sticky. So it's starting to move freer as I wiggle it, but that usually is so free, you know, it just flaps around. So definitely gummed up carburetor, so we'll clean that out when I clean all this up for paint. So I took the handlebars apart on both mowers and I bead blasted all these little bits, and then I'm going to prime them up with this, and then I'm going to paint them gloss black. First coat. All the handle brackets for both mowers are all painted up. Got all kinds of goodies. This, yeah, the paint reacted. I painted it yesterday, and then I saw a spot I missed here, so I turned them around and gave them touch up and the paint reacted because it hadn't cured long enough. So I'll have to re-bead blast that one and this one. They're both had paint, little couple spots, so no big deal. And I painted all the bolts that hold the handles and these on and whatnot. Painted the blade. That's acrylic enamel. All other brackets, both mowers brackets are painted for. Those are the wheels for that mower, and basically all I got to do is pull the engine and bead blast the deck and paint it. And I'm going to clean that engine up and paint it at the same time I paint this engine here. This engine is just sitting there. It's not bolted on. It's just sat it there. I had to drain the oil, clean the fuel system, you know, just kind of clean it up a bit. I'm going to take the housing off, take probably the spring and the recoil apart so I can bead blast this and clean that up. Maybe bead blast this metal, sand this, clean the, you know, it's going to need all cleaning up the engine so I can paint it up nice. And the handles, which are my next chore, I'm going to try and gently take these grips. These are all the original grips, and I can turn them on the handles and move them. So I think I'm going to take them off so I can completely paint the handles. So I'm going to start sanding them out as soon as I can. I got the seat cover for the Galaxie, so the mower might be on hold for a few days. I cleaned these up, bead blasted them, reshot them, put 2 coats on them. They look good this time, so hopefully I won't have to redo them. I put the ones for this mower back on it, and I just took the grips off. This one grip, I'm going to see if I can find a new one, but I don't know. It's got to be identical, but those are the grips for this mower and the handles for this mower. They're identical. I mean, they're totally, absolutely identical. And I don't really see any difference in the right and left other than that little doohickey that latches on that little ear there to hold the handles still. So let me we'll get these ones sanded out and get a coat of paint on them. I'm just going to sit here and sand this out. This actually sands out really quick and easy. I mean, look at that. Bare metal just, I mean, I can take a bit here where it's not. This has a little bit more surface rust, so this is a little harder to sand out here. But as you can see, it comes right down to the metal pretty quick. So I'm going to sand the handles out and maybe get them primed up. If not, painted in the next. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It looks like rain today. So I'll just do as I can, and you know, I may have to wait to paint. But I can at least get it sanded out and maybe primed if the weather holds up. We'll see. Anyway, I'm not going to video sanding as that's kind of boring. So let me get all this stuff sanded out. Alright, I got it down to bare metal. It took me about a half an hour to sand it out. I'm going to start by priming this end and working my way to this end. This end, this part wasn't painted, and I suspect, you know, so they could hold on to it. But I'm going to give it a little coat of paint. This was never primed, and that original paint just kind of flaked off. It sanded off really easy, probably because it was never originally primed. This stuff doesn't need to be on real heavy. probably have to paint this holding on to that other end. And then I'll see, because I got to get all in here too. So it might just be easier to paint it the way the manufacturer painted it, which I suspect was they held on to that end, which I'll probably do. I'll probably put on a nitro glove, and just where I don't see where I got primer, I'm just re-hitting it. Alright, that looks pretty good. We'll let that dry up, and I'll go sand the other one out. And I got 3 more to sand. 1 more for the 1955 mower and 2 for the 1957 mower. Both handlebars are primed. They look pretty good. This one, when I primed it, I held it here, and then I could flip it back and forth to get this thing flips really easy. So I could get it to flip to where I could get paint all, or primer all around in it. And I'll probably do that with the paint for the first coat. Second coat, I don't know, because I held it here, sprayed to about here, and then I sprayed this end to about here, which you probably can't see, but I painted the handle in, and then I put the coat hanger on it and painted where I was holding it, primed it. So that's probably how I'll do the first coat on both handlebars. Then the second coat, I'll just have to hold them by the wire and maybe just feed a little wire in that so I can pull that up and down, and I'll hang them maybe from something just so I can, you know, stick a screwdriver or something in the tip and pull them around and move them. But they're primed. I'm gonna maybe start sanding the handles for this other mower out that you can't see, that's sitting here on the floor right in front of my feet, the 1957, and then I can paint all the handles hopefully at the same time, and then I'll get the engines off both mowers. I got to drain the oil out of both engines and the fuel out of the 6BHS. The one that's on my grandpa's mower is a 6BHS, and the one by my feet here is a 6BH. So I don't know what that S, they both have different carburetors, and this one has a rope wind starter and the other one's a recoil. So I don't know what the difference is, but anyway, they're 2 years apart in age. So we'll get this one, once I get the oil out of them, I'll get the engine off this so I can get the housing in the blast cabinet to clean up so we can get some paint on it. And this video is probably going to be over a week or more too. So anyway, just hang in there. I'm actually calling it a day right now, and I'll continue sanding on some handles tomorrow. Got both the handles painted up. I made a little wired, well, the handles for the 1955 mower. I want this, I got to sand the handles for that mower out, and I don't want to do it until this paint tacks up. And yeah, I'll probably get the paint stick in there. I'll have to touch that up with a brush when I'm done, but at least it's supposed to rain, so I kind of wanted to get it painted before it rained. I'm going to drain the fluids out of this and get the engine off, get the wheels off so I can blast the deck and start getting the engine ready for paint, because I'm going to paint both engines with acrylic enamel with the spray gun at the same time. This one I got to fix an oil leak on. I got the parts right here. It's a crankcase gasket and the base gasket and the oil seal. I figured I'd just replace the crank oil seal while I have the cover off. It doesn't leak out of the oil seal. That's the gasket part number. And so what I thought I would, and these are the other handles, I got to sand them out, get the grips off and sand them out so I can paint them. I'll probably do that in the next few days. But this 1955 Cooper, I was thinking, you know, I'm going to use that mower at the cottage, and this one I think I'm going to put in the trunk of the Bel Air. So when I go to the evening car cruises, you know, and the trunk's open, be period correct in there. You know, people hauled their mowers around and stuff, and they still do. and you know, to go mow their parents' or kids' yards or whatever. I just thought it'd be kind of neat to put a period correct air mower in the trunk of the car. You know, it's kind of neat. Once the engine's all done up, I think it'll look super nice. The engine's, as I said, this is, I don't know how many days later, but the engine's just sitting there. I'm going to get the oil drained out, and I got to get the blade clutch thing off the crank so I can clean the crank up and separate the cases. And my grandpa bought this mower. They lived in Lansing. This is Google Maps. This is Logan Street, or Martin Luther King Boulevard, Oakland Avenue, or M43. My dad grew up right about there, and that's where my folks got married. And my great-grandfather had a home right here at the corner that they tore down when they widened the road. His backyard's still there with lilacs and stuff. He was an avid gardener. My grandfather was an avid gardener. My dad enjoyed gardening, but my mom was an avid gardener, and her mom was too, and that's why I think I'm an avid gardener. It kind of runs in the family. I don't know if this shows up in here or not, but anyway, they moved over right at the end of Addison Street. If you took the street, it would run right into their driveway, and this is Maycroft. And they had about an acre there, so this mower kind of wasn't you know, good for an acre lot. So my grandpa bought a big mower, and this just got kind of retired to a shed where it sat for, well, they moved to that Maycroft house in 1964. This mower is a 55, so it was 9 years old when they moved. He probably used it a year or two there, or a year anyway. And then he always bought bigger mowers, like 24-inch cuts, and finally a tractor, but he would wear his mowers out and just throw them away and buy new ones, you know, cheapies at Myers. I don't know why he hung on to this one. Maybe because he bought it from his friend that owned a hardware in Lansing, and it was $76, and that was a lot of money in 1955. You can still buy brand new mowers for $76 today. I think, you know, you can go to Ace and buy one of those throwaway ones for under $100. But anyway, just a little on the mower. And then in the mid-70s he gave this to me, and I used it until the early 2000s to do trimming. I mowed with a tractor a lot, and I'd, you know, go around and trim with this. And then when I retired it, I stored it up in the attic here, and then it sat up there for probably I retired it for probably 10 years, and then my dad wanted it for up the cottage, wondered if I still had it, and then that was when, after a couple of years up there, it got damaged, and now it's restored, and, well, you know, I got to do the engine yet, but it's probably not going to see use anymore. So that's why I was thinking of putting it in the trunk of the Bel Air, just, you know, kind of, I think it would look neat. I'll make like blocks. Somehow the wheels will set in so it won't roll around in the trunk. It's really light, so it's not a lot of weight in the trunk. I mean, the engine obviously weighs more than the deck, and the engine's pretty light. It's maybe, I don't think it's over 30 pounds, and it's super light. My dad, even with his bad back, could lift it in and out of the truck to take it between the cottage and where he lived with Lynn there, which was about a mile away. So he used it at both places up there, and he just, like I say, he could just throw it. That's why I liked it. It was lightweight. It was easier for him to push around and use, and he could start it, and he could lift it in and out of the truck. It starts quite easy. So yeah, and I think in the last video I linked up a video of him actually using the mower, the last mower on this mower. Or last video on this mower, excuse me, I'm misspeaking myself. But anyway, I'm going to get the fluids out of them, and I'll probably wrap this video up. And the next video, I will do actually video changing the gasket on this engine and the crankshaft oil seal, and we'll do some video cleaning the engines, both engines up, and painting them, and painting that other deck. There will be more videos on the mowers, but you know, it's going to be like 4 or 5 videos tops to these being finished. It's not like this, you know, 200 videos almost. This is a quick, easy project, and I got to get it got to get that one done so I can take it up north. So it needs mowing up there. Another, probably around the 4th of July it'll need mowing. And then usually around Labor Day, and that's it. I'll only mow a couple times. It's kind of a fine, thin grass, more weeds than grass. It won't even get the underside of the deck dirty. The underside of this deck didn't even get dirty from up there. And so, you know, it's not like mowing Kentucky bluegrass or stuff where you get, you know, stuff build up on the underside of the deck. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you like the video, definitely hit the like button. If you enjoy my channel, subscribe by hitting that 348 engine icon that pops up there. And thank you for watching my videos.